Yo, what is up YouTube? It's your boy Shnappy. In today's video, I am bringing you an advanced settings guide to Modern Warfare 3 for ranked play. Just so you guys know, I play controller PC, so if you play keyboard and mouse, you can learn something from this video, and if you play controller, you could also learn something from this video. Alright, first we're going to start off with the controller settings because I do not play on keyboard and mouse as I just said. First things first, I do play on a default stick layout. I do not play with vibration. If you do have vibration turned on, it's gonna feel so weird to turn it off, but trust me, you need to do it because your analog stick is going to pick up that little vibration shake whenever you're shooting. And the reason, or how it's going to do that, is through your dead zone. I have a fairly new controller, so my dead zones are at 2 and 2, but if you have a slightly older controller, what you're gonna do is slowly bump this number up this direction until you don't get the automatic movement from your stick. If you have anything over than 10, it's gonna be looking like you need a new controller, because that is a lot of range of motion that you're missing out on towards the very center of your analog stick. As you can see, if I drag it out, this dead zone here right on the right is what you cannot is what your controller will not pick up, right? So if you're let's say moving your controller, let's say, can I do this on a controller? No. Let's say if you're moving to the right halfway at this 50-point mark, your character is still not going to move if your dead zone is this high. That's why I'm saying if you have it more than 10, you start to feel it a little bit. Left trigger and right trigger dead zones, I always put this as 0. This never changes with your controller health. It should always be 0 pretty much. Now for aiming, my sense is 7. ADS sensitivity multiplier is 0.9. I don't really touch any of these. It's more sensitivity multipliers. If you have more than one multiplier going at once, then it's like it gets a little tricky with the variables, if you know what I mean. Vertical aim axis, all this is standard. I don't really touch any of this. Tactical stance sensitivity multiplier, this is a huge one that a lot of people miss. This needs to be the same exact sensitivity as your ADS sensitivity multiplier. That is because when you're sliding and aiming in, just like the picture shows right here, you want it to be the same sensitivity as if you're aimed down sights, right? Because that's what you're doing. You're pressing the left trigger while you're sliding, and you don't want your sensitivity to be full range of motion. You want it to be the exact same as your ADS sensitivity, because that's exactly what you're going to be doing as soon as you come out of the slide anyways. So you don't want to have like two different like sensitivity multipliers while you're sliding and then you're ADSing. It would just make it like feel really bad, in my opinion. Aim response curve type, this is going to be set to dynamic. This needs to be at 1.0 all the way. My aim assist type is default. I know a lot of people use Black Ops, but ever since the pros transition from Black Ops to default again, I never really went back. Now for my gameplay settings, I have automatic sprint turned off, and I have tactical sprint behavior turned on single tap run. This allows me to single tap the left analog stick to sprint instead of where I would have to double tap it. This setting, single tap run, also makes it a ton times easier to snake in this game. Slide dive behavior, I have this turned to slide only. Now for the rest of these, I leave these untouched all the way down to the bottom, as you'll see. I mean, I really don't think any of these you need to change, in my opinion. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, for the graphic settings, these are going to be huge if you're on PC. If you're on console, I don't know how much this will help you, but if you're on PC, this will definitely help you. I do have a 165 Hertz monitor. You're going to want to make sure that is set to the max it can go. And if it's locked like this, you're going to have to change this to full screen exclusive to unlock it. You can see kind of behind the dart. You can kind of see in the background how it unlocks it. I always make sure to turn my NVIDIA Reflex low latency on plus boost. My brightness in this game is 55. My custom frame rate limit is set to match my exact hertz on my monitor, or just a little bit above it actually, to give it a little leeway. You see it's 164.8. I put mine on 165. You get the idea. Focus mode, that's I didn't touch that, just set to 90. HDR is off. All right, now we're on to the graphic or the quality of your graphics. This is going to be huge if you're on PC. Now this first graphic preset, that I mean, you don't really want to touch this because that's going to affect everything else down here. Render resolution, I have that set to 67. Now in order to unlock this, again, you want to go to upscaling and sharpening, down to fidelity cast, and then I like to put mine at 67, and I'll show you guys exactly why right now. I do use NVIDIA GeForce Experience, and I use a little secret setting right here called image scaling. What you're gonna do is turn that bad boy on, and what it should do is it's either gonna put it on 77% or 67%. I like 67. I can see the game perfectly clear with a render resolution of 720, and I just leave the sharpness as default for 50 right here. So basically, if you didn't catch that, you want to match your image scaling on setting right here in NVIDIA. You want to match this with your render resolution setting. So after I told you to switch the render resolution first, but you should probably go to the NVIDIA setting first and turn that on. Play around with these different percentages right here. I really like 67. I don't think it takes away from anything, especially with the new upscaling and sharpening tool that I'm about to show you, or the option. It's the NVIDIA DLAA. This is the new NVIDIA AI based anti-aliasing mode. So it's pretty advanced. It's really good, and I'm pretty sure the driver update, the last driver update I had was specifically for this mode. So I'm pretty sure this is what NVIDIA wants you to use, either this or the NVIDIA image scaling. I find the new AI image scaling to be really good in this game, especially when you put the sharpness down to 20. Now if you jack it up to 100, it's going to look really grainy. So I went ahead and put that down to 20. VRAM scale target is going to depend on the size of your RAM. This works for me. Next is your details and textures. So what you're gonna want to do is play around with your texture resolution, and pretty much this should be set to normal, detail set to normal, and particle resolution set to normal. It depends on what graphics card you do have in your PC, but I have my graphics on high, and I get all of my frames pretty much every game. So and that's due to the render resolution setting I showed you right here, and also the AI upscaling I showed you. So it's like a little trick to still get really quality high settings on this game, but also not take up from your FPS. Everything else below particle resolution needs to be lower off, except for terrain memory. This is also that has to do with the size of your memory in your computer. I have it on max, works great for me. It just makes it to where your actual memory can remember parts of the map, so it makes it easier to display, I guess. Next we have field of view. I am a very competitive player, so I do play on 95. It's not flashy, it doesn't look the best, but it works the best for me. This is also what Shnappy plays on. My ADS field of view is affected. My weapon field of view is wide. Motion blur, make sure you're turning this off if you are playing ranked play. You just don't want to be having more things moving on the screen than it needs to be, because it makes your screen really blurry, and it can kind of distract your eyes a bit. Film grain, I'll leave that at 0.25. First person camera movement, turn that down to 50%, as well as third person camera movement. We don't use third person in ranked play, but I just turned down anyways. And I do have inverted flashbang on. This is pretty much personal preference, but what it does is it makes the screen black instead of completely white whenever you get flashed. So it's not like a big, it's not like a IRL flashbang like how it is. Next, we're going to the audio settings. I always keep my master volume at 100, but I might start playing around with my headset volume, as well as this volume and the volume in Discord, because I do stream and all of that stuff matters for me. But if you don't stream, then you probably won't have to worry about any of that. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much in audio that you can put on. I have my hit marker sound effects on classic. That's why if you watch my videos, you'll notice that when I get a kill, it sounds a bit different. I think it's a little bit more satisfying to hear the classic hit markers. Now the interface. Okay, I have everything set to default pretty much. What you're gonna want to do for sure though is set your color filter to number 2. This is gonna give you the brightest colors that you can possibly get. This should be both, actually. It should be color filter target on both the world and the interface. Basically what that's saying is that it's going to apply to the game and it's going to apply to the menu. World color intensity, both of these should be at 100. This is going to give you the brightest colors possible. I have my minimap set to square. It just gives you more surface area for your minimap instead of a circle. Minimap rotation on, horizontal compass on. Crosshairs, my crosshair setting is set to default on the center dot. I don't like it being too big. You're gonna want to put all this pretty much set to default. And now telemetry, I like having, you know, the FPS and server latency and the GPU, just so I can see what's going on. Sometimes I turn the GPU off. I just like seeing it sometimes. Just a little relationship with my PC. You can do whatever you want on these, and the rest of this should be set to default. Well, that is gonna do it for this quick settings guide. I really hope this helped you guys out on figuring your settings out. It's taken me years of playing competitive COD to figure out, you know, what settings are best for me, and I hope I can speed that process up for you. Be sure to like the video if you did find this helpful, and subscribe if you're new here. I will be posting more ranked play-ish content. Check out some of my old videos. I post daily now, and I'll catch you in the next video.